Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with a demo of graphics and gameplay on the Xbox One. The first game we've got is Ryse, Son of Rome. Ryse reminds me a lot of God of War, as the hero is a Roman general bent on revenge, and the gameplay focuses a lot on gory combos to take out waves of enemies. As far as next-gen games go, Ryse definitely does a great job showing off the power of the Xbox One. The lighting and depth of field looks great, and some of the levels are huge, with tons of AI on screen at once. One of the most impressive parts of the visuals are the facial animations. A lot of the in-game cinematics are awesome.
Barbarian blood! And we know they bleed as we do.
Gameplay is solid if a bit bland. It revolves around chaining together attacks and blocks against several enemies at once, and after you wear them down, you can activate an execution, which finishes them off and regains you a bit of health as well. As long as you have decent timing, it's not that difficult, and while they look cool, executions quickly become a bit repetitive. While character models for the enemies are reused all the time, overall Ryse is a fun, fairly short game that nicely shows off what you should expect out of next-gen games.
Soldiers! Hold! Let's move! Men! Shields! Soldiers! Hold! Fall back! Fall back!
Forza Motorsport 5 is one of my favorite games for the Xbox One. I've always been a big fan of realistic racing simulators like Gran Turismo, and this latest version of Forza does a great job. While it's a bit down on the sheer number of cars and tracks, there's a lot new, like Drivatars, which replace the typical in-game AI with drivers based on real-life players, which is fun, except when they drive dirty, which is basically all the time. By default, the game leaves on a ton of aids to help you drive, but as you turn more off, which you totally should, you're rewarded with majorly increased bonuses and credits. Visually, Forza looks great as it's running at 1080p at 60 frames per second, one of the few Xbox One titles that does. You have the normal behind the car views along with a very nicely detailed in-cockpit view for each car, and impressively it keeps up a solid frame rate, making sure the sense of speed never drops. You've also got a split screen mode, which is a feature I wish more games would bring back. All in all, Forza is a solid racing game for the One. Next up, we've got the latest entry into the Call of Duty franchise, Ghosts. This is also available on last-gen consoles like the 360, so it shouldn't be a surprise that it's not massively different on the Xbox One. Story-wise, this is Infinity Ward's first time moving on from Modern Warfare since 2007, and it's a Call of Duty game. You're an elite commando in a squad of ghosts in post-apocalyptic America, only this time you're joined by a dog, which is a complete killing machine. Seriously, how does a dog even do this? There are a few other new additions, like Extinction Mode, which feels like the classic zombies. Here, you're fighting aliens in a more open map while defending a drill. You're able to upgrade with better weapons and perks as you go along, and it's actually quite a bit of fun. Graphically, Ghosts can't really match up with other Xbox One titles. There are cut down loading times and some nice depth of field effects, but even with the low resolution textures, the game still runs at 720p, albeit at a smooth 60 frames per second. Overall, it's another Call of Duty game with a fresh coat of paint. Dead Rising 3 is flat out fun. It's an open world zombie game that doesn't take itself too seriously for a change. Seriously, what other game lets you kill zombies with a tennis ball launcher? Or a remote control helicopter? While the story and characters are fairly over the top, what's most impressive is how much choice you have. The amount of weapons you can use and craft is enormous. The controls are probably my biggest complaint. It's easy to accidentally grab the wrong item or do the wrong action, but for the most part you can jump into bashing zombies without too much trouble. The giant open world of Los Perdidos might not be able to match Ryse for sheer looks, but it makes up for it in scale. You can blast through massive amounts of zombies with a car, and scenes like this are really what drive home what these new consoles are capable of. Better yet, it does this with no load screens once you get into the game, which is a surprisingly nice little thing. That is until you die anyway. For sheer fun though, it's hard to beat Dead Rising 3. I've got to say, I'm impressed with the Xbox One launch lineup, but what do you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well, so you're always kept up to date with the latest and greatest. Anyway guys, I will catch you next time.